Big game breakdown, ESPN showdown in Pac-12 action late night on Thursday. UCLA and Utah. The Utes -3, 149.5 against the Bruins. Look at the standings right here. UCLA's got the better numbers overall. And they certainly had the better result overall in the first meeting. UCLA was -6.5. They won the game 83-64. It wasn't that close. Literally, you don't see a lot of games in college basketball that are like this. This game was over by the first media timeout. With 15 minutes left in the first half. UCLA was up 19-7 at that first break. They coasted. Larry Krystkowiak, quote, "I remember it well. They had 19 points 4 minutes into the game, which according to my math puts them on pace for about 190 points, which would have been a new record. They throttled us pretty good." A lot of that was Aaron Holiday. Aaron Holiday was brilliant in that game. He's been brilliant all year, but 20 points, only took 10 shots. 4 of 4 on triples, had 6 assists. UCLA for the game, 52% from the floor and 12 of 23 from beyond the arc. They just shot lights out against the Utah defense. Look, this is what the bubble looks like right here. UCLA, Utah. Joe Lunardi's latest projections have the Bruins among the first 4 out, the Utes the next 4 out. So both these teams need wins to get in. It's a big weekend for Utah. They've got to get at least one win from this UCLA-USC cycle. Of course, they lost by 17 at USC the first time, in addition to the 19-point loss against UCLA. Or the Utes, they're going to go into the Pac-12 tournament very much on the outside, looking in. They got to steal one of these 2 games to keep their big dance hopes alive. Now, they couldn't stop Aaron Holiday in the first meeting. I don't know if that's a bad – you're going to blame Utah for that. No one has stopped Aaron Holiday this season. He's probably the front runner in my mind for the Pac-12 Player of the Year. And this is a classic case of a point guard carrying a team that's pretty average just about everywhere else. You know, Holiday, huge numbers this season, 19 points, more than 5.5 assists. In fact, since the Pac-12 began tracking assists in 1983, only 6 players, the history of the Pac-12 since 1983, have averaged at least 19 points and 5 assists in a season. But the supporting cast, not impressed, with UCLA. I really think that preseason trip to China has left something lacking for this team ever since. Some of its depth, some of its athleticism. This team doesn't rank in the top 300 at taking the ball away. Turnover percentage, opposing turnover percentage, number 336. There's no ball pressure whatsoever for UCLA. They got to shoot to win. That's what they do. They're an offensive-minded team. And, of course, when Holiday has a rough game or the like, and I would anticipate Utah's going to do a better job trying to defend him this time than they did in the first meeting. But when Holiday's a rough game, boy, UCLA defensively, I don't trust them to get a whole lot of stops. We look at the Utah side of the equation, and look, defense and rebounding, usually a forte of Larry Krystkowiak teams. Not this year, especially when it comes to the boards. Look at the rebounding numbers for Utah. The offensive rebound percentage and the defensive rebound percentage, way down from where they've been in recent years. Way down, Utes, in terms of their low post play. But they've been playing their best basketball here in February. 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. Their last 4, and the only spread loss during that span, you put a big asterisk by that one. They lost ATS by a half point, and that was a backdoor job against Washington State on Saturday night. But they win 77-70. They were -7.5. They were up 12 with 3.5 to play. So, they didn't cover. They were the right side in that contest. Interesting, worth noting, this is something, a quote, one of those quotes that doesn't say it, but before you bet the total in this game, pay attention to this quote from Krystkowiak, because the usual focus for Utah is to try to slow things down against UCLA. In this instance, I'm not so sure that's the case. An overbet might be worth a look. Krystkowiak, quote, "Pace is a funny thing. We're in pretty good shape in terms of conditioning, and we're playing at elevation. As we know, this mountain trip is not easy. If we can get stops, we're going to try to generate our own pace. It's an important factor for us to find the right pace, and we will. Lean to the favorite, lean to the over in late night Pac-12 action tonight." Hey, That's all we got. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back again on Friday. More bad beats, bad bets, bad for the books, big game breakdowns, weekend preview. Better come back. See you tomorrow right here on SportsBit. Betting Insight today from SBRpicks.com. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.